undergoing a ton, but you're still around and kicking, and your kids are still have a dad, and that's very good news.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Yeah, round of applause.
Okay, what started this was Scott. Where's Scott? Where is he? There he is. He's like one of my heroes. This guy is a tremendous hero. This woman is just the most loveliest woman and one of my heroes in the world. And the reason why I say that is that I was mayor of the city, what, 4 years ago, something like that, 3 or 4 years ago. And Tom said, you know what, I like you and I want you to be on the radio. And so I ran a radio show for 2 years while I was mayor, and that allowed me to be able to talk to people in the community. So I got to know Tom really well. And then I said, gosh, I ended up having renal cell carcinoma. What that is kidney cancer. And I had a tumor the size of a football. And in order to get it out, they had to actually remove a rib. So my third rib up, I don't have it anymore. They cut it out, and it's, you know, I asked them why they had to take it and not give it back to me, and they said, well, we can't give you that stuff anymore. So anyway, so that was gone. And really, honestly, my dog probably would have got a hold of it, and it would have been in bad trouble.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I should have. So anyway.
Sold it to Georgia boys.
Everything was going along fine, but I was having a tough time because without the rib, the surgery was bad enough, but without having the rib, I was really struggling with that because I had gained a bunch of weight. I was weighing in about 222, and I was having a tough time sleeping, and it just hurt, and I couldn't work out because it hurt because it was putting pressure. The fat basically was putting pressure on this area, and it hurt. So Scott walks in the door, and Tom says, well, he says, you want to lose weight the fast way or the slow way? And I said, I want to lose it the fast way. And so Scott says, well, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to get on this ASAP program. You need to do it as soon as possible. And so that's exactly what I did, and I dropped about 45 pounds. And lo and behold, I was able to sleep. It didn't really mess up my standard of living or anything like that. I mean, everything just went fine. And my wife did it as well. She lost over 40 pounds. She looks wonderful. And now I have to keep her at home. I have to put a leash on her because she looks great. But in the meantime, then I started, after the ASAP program, it's like, you know what? Let's talk more about, some of the other products that are available, because I really, I want to take care of myself better now. I don't want to gain all this weight back. I want to be healthier. And so I started taking Tangy Tangerine and doing the FX and, all the stuff that I was being a good little longevity boy, And all of a sudden I go and I have these CAT scans once every 3 months to make sure that everything's fine. Well, it was like 2.5 years later, and all of a sudden, one of my lymph nodes doubled. Okay, so they go, uh-oh. So let's go in and do a biopsy on that, and let's check and see what's happening here. Okay, so they did, and they found out I had the renal cell carcinoma had metastasized throughout my body. Okay, so then all of a sudden, man, I was freaking out. Obviously, because the mortality on that is very, very slim. And we're talking about 5% of the people survive it, okay? So they put me on a therapy, but before they did that, I had the privilege of being able to talk with Dr. Wallach and have dinner with him here at O'Shea's, downtown. Tom gave him a call and said, he just happened to be in Keystone, wasn't it? Tom calls him and says, I have somebody I want you to meet and I want you to have dinner with. Could I send a car for you? And he goes, I got a car, I'll drive down. So he did. And so my wife, my son, and I had dinner with him. And I told him what was going on, and he said, do what I tell you to do, and you're going to be fine. And that's tough. That's a tough pill, because I'm talking, I've got one of the deadliest forms of cancer. Honestly, I mean, not many survive. And so anyway, I wrote notes, we took everything, I asked him questions, he told me exactly what to eat, what not to eat. You know, I eat no oils. Oils are none, no oils. I said, well, what about coconut oil? He says, no oils. Like that. So I said, okay, no oils. And so I said, well, what do I cook with? He goes, butter. I thought, it couldn't be anything better than that, you know? So anyway, I'm on a great diet, I'm gluten-free, I'm doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, the next step is that it had metastasized. So they put me on an immune therapy. Now, what that means is that they give you something that's called interleukin-2, and it makes your immune system fight the cancer itself, okay? So it's not a chemotherapy, and it's not radiation. Both of those Dr. Wallach hates, okay? But if there's something that can make your own body fight it, okay, then he loves it. So I went through this interleukin-2 process, which was heinous. It was horrible. 5 days in intensive care, 10 days off, 5 days in intensive care. I'd run fevers, I'd up to 106 degrees. I would have the rigors, which are the shakes, and I did all sorts of different things. And guess what? After 4 of those treatments, it worked. It worked. It stopped the cancer from growing. I was one of the 15% that it actually works. I was in the top 15%. If I'd have been in the top 5%, it would have cured me. So my doctor's like, wow, your immune system really worked, you know? And I had given them a list of everything that I was taking, the selenium, everything that I was taking, tangy tangerine, everything. And they were like, whatever you're doing, just continue doing it, okay? Now, the interesting thing about this is that I had a friend of mine that was in our church that mirrored my exact same treatment schedule, everything. And everybody's different. Everybody's house is different. This is our house. Everybody's house is made up of different, you know, furniture and everything else. And it's the same thing. Our bodies are different. But the one thing that's common is that we all have immune systems. And it depends on whether or not you activate your immune system or you have fertile ground in order to make something work, okay? So what I did, or what happened was, and I get a little emotional about this because I know this gentleman and he's having a really tough time. He went through the same treatment that I did and it didn't work. And so then he started doing things like what we're doing. But by that time, it had gone in lots of different areas of his body, and he's in hospice care right now, and probably they give him another week to live.
10 years younger than you.
10 years younger than me, and I'm 55 years old. I've got to tell you, what happens here with nutrition and with minerals and vitamins, and what happens with Dr. Wallach, this is real stuff, guys. I'm living proof. I am living proof that if you take care of yourself and you take these 90 essential vitamins and minerals, and you do that every day, and you can make your body do whatever you want it to do. I'm not supposed to be here right now. I'm just not supposed to be here right now. But I refuse to do nothing. And Dr. Wallach inspired me. This man inspired me. This woman inspires me. And Scott, they have saved my life. And I'm telling you, this stuff works. And the great thing about it is that if you do what these people are going to tell you to do today, this will change your life and it'll make your life better. Not only physically, mentally, financially, every way humanly possible, this will improve your life. And everybody, that's what we live for, man. That's what life's all about. And I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful to be here. I tell my story every once in a while because we have our silly radio show back here, and I don't get out the door quick enough, and I have to. And some of you guys have heard this a billion times, and you're probably going, oh gosh, Mom's going to talk to him 15 minutes. We're going to give him 5. He's going to take 15. He's going to bore us to death. But I'll tell you, I love telling the story because it's real. I'm real. I'm living. I've got the worst form of cancer that you can have. And it's not getting it to me. And it's the diet, it's everything that Dr. Wallach told me to do. And if you do what Dr. Wallach tells you to do, you'll live. You know what he told me? He goes, you're going to be just fine. I'm sitting there, I just got a diagnosis. He goes, you're going to be just fine. And don't take that away from me.
I'm gonna talk about it.
Don't take that away.
Look at this. This is what he's got with him. This is not a prop. This is what he drinks all day, every day, right?
Don't touch that.
It's like liquid gold.
Let me tell you something,
Potion,
man.
that's
This
right.
stuff, it works, man. It is, and I'll tell you, it's changed my family's life. My wife, we take these products every day. My kids do. My son's grades were questionable. His grades have gone up. He's getting better attention to detail and everything. I'm a great believer, and I'm a skeptic. You know, I was a politician. You know, I'm not a very good one.
Like he doesn't believe us?
Yeah. Yeah, I was with him for I don't know how long on the radio, and then Scott walks in and he goes, well, do you want to do it fast or slow? And that was it. And then once I got on this stuff and I started listening, then I started living. And it's changed my life. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to be on another immune therapy. We've stopped the cancer, it's stopped the cold, and now we're going to eliminate it. And with a strong immune system and a strong body, I'm going to whip this. I'm going to be one of the very, very few people in the world that actually is going to live from having renal cell carcinoma. And it's all because of listening to Dr. Wallach, and then now we're really starting to ramp up our business, and we listen to this man here, and you listen to Scott, and you listen to this dear lady here, and they will change your lives and make it a better place.
Thank you, Bryan.
Yeah.
This is your dad. That's your dad. That's your next door neighbor. That's your son. Think about who you're going to make a stand for. Because there are a lot of people out there that are in the same boat as him, that are walking by you right now, and you're scared to say something to them. But I don't want you